Greetings. I hope everyone's evening is going well. Just waiting on a few people to get on. As you get on, if you don't mind starting to share in groups, that would be wonderful. It looks like it's giving me an option to do so as well. All right, just sharing in a few groups here. If you're on, bear with me. Feel free to share as well. That would be helpful. We'll get started talking about the energy right now. What I've been feeling, what others have been feeling. And start typing any questions you might want to know. We're going to pick up from the last video I did talking about an aura session where we actually spoke to one of the observers that is in our atmosphere right now, observing humanity's ascension. All right, I think that's good for now. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. So as always, with ascension, healing is the priority. So if you can tell, energies are still coming in. They're going to get stronger. They're more consistent. The waves that are coming in are more consistent. What I've been feeling right now is a huge clearing of basically programming. So some of the dark magic that's been used against people, some of the dark sexual rituals that's been used against humanity, especially like the volunteers, twin flames, angelic star seeds from multiple lifetimes. Dark energies regarding matrix programming. And I do want to emphasize, regardless of what the programmers, controllers, the cabal, dark ones, any of them have done, humanity has always had the ability to tap into source and tap into their heart chakras. So you've never been left alone or without having a way to wake up. There's always been a way to wake up, and that is another reason why the volunteers are here in mass. So this is like the one time in history where there's so many of us here at one time, and it is to help, to assist humanity in waking up, and also demonstrating that you can do it. So that's why we are here to do it. It is part of our mission, part of our purpose, and what we agreed to do is to incarnate without memory, just as humans do, and see if we can awaken, see if we can activate, see if we can heal ourselves, and then be an example to others on how to do it. So we're here to assist. We're not here to do the ascension for you. We assist with the ascension and demonstrate and give you the opportunity to wake up, to heal yourself, assist in your healing so that you can be an example to someone else around you on how to awaken. So we are examples. That's what light bringers are. That's what way showers are. We are examples of how to wake up, how to heal, and we assist in the process. But even when I do healing sessions, even when I do aura sessions, it's still important that moving forward, that you start to raise your vibration or continue to raise your vibration, continue to heal your heart chakra, continue to connect and develop stronger connection with your higher self and your oversoul and your spirit guides. So even though during the Angelic Universal Regression Alchemy session, I can assist your higher self in removing lower vibrational energies and entities, portals, implants, cords, all that kind of stuff, it is still up to you to move forward, raising your vibration and maintaining your thoughts. Mastering yourself, mastering your thoughts. This is how you unplug from the matrix. So a lot's been coming up about programming. Yes, when you are not in connection with source, it is easier to be programmed through your mind and your thoughts by maintaining or giving you a set of belief systems. It has always been your choice to accept those belief systems or not to accept those belief systems. Most people accept those belief systems because of the system or the families or the society they're born into. The average and the majority are, oh, is it sideways? Oh, I guess I have to hold it. That sucks. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Let's see if that's better. Sorry. Oh, now it's telling me to rotate. I can't rotate my phone while recording. Okay, sorry. Gonna have to be sideways. Okay, my other phone, I think it was always the correct way. So maybe I'll just stick to my other phone next time. But anyway, thank you for letting me know. Sorry if I'm sideways. Just bear with me and listen, I guess. So anyway, but a lot of people have been born into systems. Like basically, we're all born into the system. We're all born into the system. We're all born into a family. We're all born into a social construct that already has belief systems and traditions set up. So it's up to us to decide to go with the flow, continue that tradition, continue those ways of believing, continue that history, or to tap into source when we feel like something's not right about this. Like we all get the feeling. We've all, at least the majority of us, I know the volunteers have, but we all at some point feel like something's wrong, something's off, something can be way better than what we are experiencing right now. So that's when you have the opportunity to tune into source, develop your connection with your higher self and your oversoul. If you need assistance healing, get the assistance. There is nothing wrong with that, but do use discernment. One of the things that has been brought up to me over and over again, and you're going to even hear it when I go through the notes in this session, discernment is very important. Tapping into your heart space, developing that relationship with your higher self and oversoul is very important. So massive healings continuing to go on a massive scale. Even with situations, things that have been done in the dark coming to light. All that stuff, like every issue, every problem has an energetic source. Every single one. For one, everything manifests from thought, which means at some point it was pure energy. So even the issues, the constructs, the things you see coming up on the news or things coming up in families, because it's not just the news, it's not just global or politics. These things are coming up within families. All of this has to be healed at an energetic level. So those of us that are huge transmuters, I actually wanted to read something about that, but I'll say that for another time. But those of us that are huge transmuters, like especially if you go out in public, but even at home, like yesterday, I was so tired because everything that is being corrected, healed, undone, redone, recreated, all of this stuff all this energy has to filter through those of us that are transmuters. So some of us are here to actually transmute huge amounts of energy, meaning to raise the vibration of the energy. So all these situations, whether we know exactly what's coming in to be transmuted or not, we're grounding it, we're transmuting it, we're raising the vibration of it and sending it back out. Some of it gets sent directly back to source for reintegration. Some of it gets sent back out to the public, to Mother Gaia, things like that. Part of trusting source, I was reading a very good channeling about this, but part of trusting source is not trying to filter or figure out what you're transmuting. It's like just transmute it, because if we're trying to think too much or we want to know all the details, we kind of get in the way. So just trust that whatever they have you transmuting is for the benefit of all involved, humanity and the multiverse. So if you need to rest. If you need to slow down when you're out in public, if your head starts hurting, slow down and take a breath. You are transmuting energy. The more you understand how the process works, the more efficient and effective you are at transmuting the energy. But a lot of you are transmuting it and don't even realize it. Another thing that empaths try to do, like if they feel other people's energies, their head, their stomach, different things start hurting, they try to get away from it, which is understandable. However, it just means you don't understand what you're supposed to do with the energy. So coming into connection with source, clearing yourself, expanding your aura, expanding your field, all these things, you will be guided in learning how to transmute energies. Of course, if you inbox me, and I actually did a video on transmuting energy. So you can find it on my Facebook page. But let me get to the point because the notes are actually quite long. If you remember from the last one I did, please go back and watch it if you did not watch the whole thing. I'm going to draw a card that's going to assist us in the current energies. And I actually got the selenite. How perfect is that? Because we know selenite helps with purification of energy. So I'm going to read what that one means. I use selenite in every session. Divine light. In the ancient world, selenite protected us against wanderings of the mind. It invokes mental clarity and divine inspiration. Spirituality is vital for you. You are a translucent soul who moves fluidly through time. Use insights wisely. Avoid confusing past with present. You see into people's hearts to what motivates them. A situation is unpredictable no matter how solid it appears. Be prepared for challenges and changes. Banish confusion. Clarity is needed. Clarity is in alignment with source. Clarity is in alignment with your heart space. Anytime, like even if you're still operating and weighing pros and cons, that's really a sign of confusion. Like if you are in alignment with source, it should be clear what path to take or what to do. You should be able to feel it from your heart space. And it's okay if you don't yet, but just understand that you need to develop your heart discernment further. So the crystal that's going to be assisting us through this current healing is selenite. If you don't have any, please get some. Like selenite is very, very... It also helps to clear other crystals. Like I have selenite charging plates. And you can also contact me or message me if you would like a selenite charging plate, if you would like to buy one. I do sell a few crystals. I'll probably start selling more crystals in the future. So I'm going to get started on the second part of the aura session. Like I said, the first part of this gentleman's aura session, I do not routinely transcribe aura sessions. They take way too long. But in this case, it was important to share this session as the information is important, but it was necessary to keep this person's identity private. So, good crystal sources. There is a Facebook group I can add you to. I had posted that maybe about a week ago. A lot of cities have like local crystal shops. I do get them offline sometimes or even eBay. You can feel crystals. Like if you're really good at feeling crystals, you can feel them even online. So crystals can help you choose them. It's like a two-way agreement, because crystals are consciousness as well. Okay, so let's start from where we picked off. Okay, so I'm asking, he was in a city. He just finished speaking to one of the observers that's actually orbiting the Earth right now. So he just finished speaking to that observer. So I say, brother, what do you see? Are you still outside of the city or are you somewhere else? His response, yes, I am still at the city. Would you like to explore the city? Yes. Tell me all that you see. So he states he's walking down a stone road past some trees on the left-hand side towards what looks to be a school or university campus. There's more fields with people there, but their faces are swirling rainbows. That is the best way I can describe it. I reply, nice. And he says, they don't have facial features and all communication is telepathic. So then I ask, is there one that may want to speak to you or communicate? Yes. Would you like me to ask them questions for you? I would like to see what questions you have for them. So then I ask, the one that wants to speak, do they feel masculine or feminine? Feminine. Thank you. So I ask, greetings, sister. May I ask you questions? She replies, yes. Thank you. Do you have a name? You can call me Isabel. Thank you, Isabel. So honored to speak to you. The city that he is in, is there a name for your city or your land? She replies, we call this place the library. I ask, is that what he described looked like a university? She replies, yes. What can you tell us about the library? She says, people come here to rest and to share information so as to prevent entropy, to give order without demanding anything. He has saw us once before, but he was not the same as he is now. So I asked, can you describe how he was before? Happier and much younger. This library, is it a galactic university? She replies, yes. Is it on a particular planet? She replies, not necessarily. It is between dimensions, as you would call it, easily accessible. So I ask, at what dimension is the library? She says, fourth. Thank you. And what would you like to show him or tell him today? Her response, all things can be changed without attachment. He can find freedom to come here, there, and go anywhere as you see it. Help those now, but don't be bound trying to be a savior to everyone. Everyone chooses to be who they are. That's it. Beautiful. Would you like to show him anything while he's there at the library, or would you suggest he keep looking around? She replies, there's a mirror on one of the stones I'm pointing to. We are walking there now. Beautiful. Thank you, sister. Are you there now? Yes. So I ask, what can you tell us about the mirror? She says, we are standing in front of it. We are seeing how we wish to see ourselves, from beginning to end, and changing things as we see fit. There are other people gathering around now. I ask, does this mirror in essence help you to see your highest potential? Yes. Beautiful. And what's going on now? She says, he is ready to leave. Yes. We thank you and appreciate you so much, Isabel. Go in peace. We honor you, sister. So then I ask for the client, I say, brother? He says, yes. Isabel stated that you have seen enough. Are you ready to go, brother? He says, yes. Did you want to share anything that you've seen in the mirror? He says, I saw myself as a child again before I began the cycle of incarnating on earth. Beautiful. Were you happier at that time? He says, yes. I ask, is there anything else you want to share? He says, I remembered that many people here won't necessarily understand where I came from or why I decided to come here. But it was mainly to see if I could pass the test of remembering myself from nothing, so as to prove that the game is fair. So I ask, in essence, even our awakening and remembering, is that also to show humans that they have the ability to remember? He said, yes. Thank you, brother. We then attempt to call in his higher self. I call on his higher self, but he states that he is receiving some interference. So I ask him if he give permission for me to call on Archangel Michael. He replied, yes. Archangel Michael, brother? Yes. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your presence. Can you tell me what's going on? He stated that he feels there is interference with his higher self. And Archangel Michael replies, there are still things that he must do on his own. Otherwise, the connection will be rejected. So then I ask, the things he must do, are we able to assist him with the body scan? Yes. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Do you mind starting his body scan now? Yes. Thank you. Tell me all that you see, brother. He replies, the heart is closed. So I ask, are there any entities present? No. I say, good. In order to assist him with opening his heart, are there any lower energies that need to be cleared or just activation? He replies, activation. So I ask, how would you like me to assist? Would you like me to use the Phoenix Fire as well as I place any crystals? His response, yes, crystals will help. Wonderful. So I etherically placed a rose quartz. We go through a full body scan. Additional issues are addressed concerning letting go of sadness, forgiveness of self, betrayal, causing the betrayal he experienced. He experienced several issues with betrayal just this lifetime, and it caused emotional numbness and the need to develop greater heart discernment. He will need to decide to become one with his heart again. Developing discernment will help with the fear of being betrayed, more consistent meditation, creating security from within, finding safety, trust, and independence. So I asked for clarification. Part of the agreement we made prior to incarnating was to trust that even though we incarnated through the veil of amnesia, so we incarnated through a veil of amnesia. So part of that, our agreement was that our source, our spirit guides, our higher selves, and our oversouls, they remember who we are and what we wanted to do. So it was part of our agreement to reestablish our connection to help us with our self-awareness. Is that correct, Archangel Michael? He says, yes. So I reply, beautiful. Any other words you would like to add, Archangel Michael? He says, destroying doubt is the first step towards freedom. That's it. So then he goes on to say that his third eye was clouded and there is an entity present. The entity was causing a field of unyielding vision due to the fear of seeing too much. He received a reminder, and this reminder is actually from the entity. So I called the entity forward to speak with it. He received a reminder that clarity does not cause distortion or confusion. Returning to who he is will not make him feel broken. He states that following paths at which you fail is your choice. That's interesting. So the entity is telling him that if he follows paths that he fails at, it is his choice to follow those paths. He should be feeling his way to success, using heart discernment to success. The entity is sent to the light with peace and love. We also send additional healing to his third eye. So Archangel Michael further explains why some choose to hide their abilities for safety, as not to stand out and cause unwanted attention from the controllers. He states this is necessary for some, as they do not want to have to incarnate again if they do not succeed at their mission. So I ask, so there has been times when we needed to blend in. Will advice be available individually? Wouldn't you just receive guidance from source how to operate safely? Archangel Michael replies, yes. Trusting source above all is the greatest thing a soul can do, and questioning everything. So I ask, when you say questioning everything, do you mean our experiences here on earth or what we are taught by other humans? Archangel Michael says, what you are taught by other humans, engaging their intentions in teaching it to you. Yes, the intention of why it is taught is very important to feel for. Can you share any words of advice on the collective history that is taught? There is a negative intention. Can you expand on that for us? So Archangel Michael says, the human experience was created not in the way that most people might think. It wasn't always to be under one rule, as it is seen in modern times with current human beings. Those that existed here many, many years ago existed in peace before others came. The one rule you speak of, what do you mean? He says, rulership as it is now. It is by ego, and there are few that choose to follow their hearts, even if it means being rejected by the families they incarnated into. So I ask, and do you mind clarifying? There were some that were here and then others came. What did you mean by that statement? Some see them as draconian or reptilian, and they sought to change humans into their image, which has led to war, ignorance of self, materialism, and pervasive competition with one another. Thank you, brother. How's his body scan going? Are we able to continue? Archangel Michael, yes, his third eye is more active now. I ask, what else do you see, brother? He also receives guidance from Archangel Michael to address his unexpressed emotions. Archangel Michael explained that the reason men are taught not to express their emotions is a part of the matrix programming. He states that without emotions, all that exists are thoughts and words, which are keys to programming human beings to be anything that the surrounding society and environment projects onto them, because there is no discernment through feeling. Without the feelings, there can be no discernment or true knowing or protection from delusion. This is so important. I'm going to read this again, because people need to understand, whether you're male or female, you need to understand how they program human beings. So Archangel Michael states the need that how important it is for everyone, but of course my client, to address their unexpressed emotions. Archangel Michael explained that the reason men are systematically taught not to express their emotions is a part of the matrix programming. He states that without emotions, all that exists are thoughts and words, which is left brain. Thoughts and words, simply knowledge, is strictly left brain thinking, which are keys to programming human beings to be anything that the surrounding society and environment projects onto them, because there is no discernment through feeling. So your feeling, your heart discernment, that's going to be more of your feminine energy. Without the feelings, there can be no discernment or true knowing or protection from delusion. So clarity is in alignment with love and heart discernment. Confusion, chaos, delusion, all of those are when you are out of alignment, when you're not in your heart space, when you're not in a healed heart chakra. So I say thank you for that explanation. There were other issues that were addressed, such as focusing thoughts and intentions, as the practice of manifestation is actually a practice of self-mastery. Can you think a thought? Can you have a desire? Can you focus your mind? Can you make a plan? Can you, create a business? Can you create? Can you create a project? Can you focus your mind? Can you manifest what it is that you intend to do and think about? These are all practices of self-mastery. And besides that, whatever monetary system we're in, because there's a lot of people that hate our monetary system, add love to all the systems. Add love to the internet. Add love to social media. Add love to Mother Earth. Add love to the monetary system, the political system, the educational system, because all of these systems are lacking love. So how do you heal these systems? You add love in your positive intentions. You add your creational energy to recreate all of these systems. This is why they don't want you to wake up. Because if you wake up and you're shining your light and love everywhere you go and adding it to all these systems, guess what? It breaks down their systems. It changes their systems. They're corrupting the systems with their negative thoughts and intentions. So how do you heal those systems? You add your love light energy, which is stronger than theirs. And you correct and heal those systems. Send love everywhere. Send love to your neighbors. Send love to your family. Send love to your ex that you don't ever want to see again. Like, just send love, radiate love, because that's what they all need. That's what humanity is lacking. That's what humanity has been disconnected from. Those that were peaceful, those that were indigenous, they were in tune with the earth, grounded with Mother Gaia, with clear, healed, holy, loving heart chakras, and in connection with their higher self and oversoul. So how do you get back to that? How do you raise the vibration? How do we get back to the 5th and 6th dimension and higher? Because the process of ascension is moving back up the dimensions. The only way to do that is through connection with Source. The only way to have a full, pure connection with Source, free of interference, is to heal. That's the only way to do it. You have to heal your heart. You have to develop discernment. There is no other way to do it. And then to move up the dimensions, you have to master your thoughts. They're not going to allow you to move up the dimensions without mastering your thoughts, because everything you think manifests faster. That's what it means. When energy vibrates faster, vibrates higher, you're moving up the dimensions. So if you're thinking things, and they're not nice things, they're not things that the people around you want to see you create, they're going to leave you in the 3rd dimension. They're going to leave you there until you're ready. Like, you have to master your thoughts. That's why we're here, to assist people. So, okay, so the other issues that were being addressed were focusing thoughts and intentions, uncertainty, self-expression, and self-worth. So Archangel Michael verifies that we are now able to call in his higher self. We thank him with much love and honor for his support and assistance. So we're almost done with that one session, so it will be interesting to see what his higher self has to say, even about ascension and disclosure and things of that nature. I do thank you for tuning in. Let me see if there were any questions. Anybody have any questions? Oh, does anybody have any questions for me? Anything about ascension, the observers? Let me see. All right. Any questions? Anybody want to ask me about Angelic Universal Regression Alchemy sessions? What kind of questions can you ask during a session? You can pretty much ask like anything you want to, which is why I love doing the sessions. A lot of people love and appreciate readings, which readings are very helpful, but you can always have a 3 to 5 hour session. Believe me, it doesn't seem like 3 to 5 hours, maybe to me, but not the client. But 3 to 5 hours, like you receive a past life regression. Sometimes they don't even do past lives. Like, as you know, like there was another session I dictated in a few sessions on my YouTube channel where we go into the future, we go to other dimensions, we go to other planets. We even went to the God planet, which a lot of people call heaven. We went to the new earth. We've seen other timelines, like even for like the current life. Yeah, the current life on earth, but other timelines where different events took place at different times. One session I will be sharing soon. I'm going to actually upload this one. But I was debating on how to do it because during this session, it was unique in that we were seeing things that, of course, in a past life regression, we were seeing things that happened in the past. We were taking like 3 different scenes. The first scene, I actually was able to, with the guidance of the higher self, because we are observers. We're not like here to change people's timelines at all. Like that's a no-no. You just observe. You don't correct anybody. like even if someone is doing something negative, because you actually see a lot of things when some people are doing things negative. You don't like scold them or try to correct what they're doing. You're just there to observe and get information. You let the higher self address it however they want to address it for that person's healing. But there is one session I'm going to share where she was a child, and basically, like the children weren't playing with her, things like that. So I just asked a few questions, talked to the teacher, and I asked her, did she feel comfortable going over to talk to the children? Because basically the children thought she didn't want to talk to them. So in something that minor, with, like I said, I had to, definitely tune in and ask the higher self if that was okay to do that. And that was okay. But then the very next scene, it was with her boyfriend at the time. And he was actually, it was a scene where he was actually beating her up. So I did speak to him to find out more information and why he was doing it, but not to scold him or tell him, you can't do that, don't be doing that. That's not what we're here for. We're not to do that. We're just observers because these things have already happened. They've already happened. It's not to, beat him up and tell him he's a bad person or anything like that, because he is a brother as well. This is all about healing, all energy. Even when I heal and assist entities, there's still energy and a part of us. They just need healing, and they appreciate you helping them. So basically, I was able to talk to him, get some information to find out why he was behaving that way, and he apologized. But so that just a little heads up before I post that one on my YouTube channel. So that one was a very interesting healing, and definitely you want to see the third part. We were shown something that was like very controversial. Let's put it that way. So we found out a lot of information. Like anything you want to know, I've said this before in I think it was a Facebook Live. Like we really disclosure is fine, it's great. We'll get it when it's appropriate, because we need more people to wake up, more people to activate. This is all about self-awareness, mastering self, mastering your own thoughts. This is not about somebody else telling you things and, we're just going to give you all this technology. Because even with certain structures falling or being disabled, they have spent a lot of time developing and manipulating the belief systems. So if you don't change the belief system, which is an operating system, because your brain is like a computer, if you don't change your belief systems and get in tune with source, your higher self and your oversoul to connect the truth, you're still going to create you're going to run the same program, basically. You're going to run and operate within that same program. So it's very important for you to heal yourself. Like I said, assistance is very helpful, but either way it goes, regardless of what healer you go to, they cannot think for you. They can assist you so that at least removing the entities from your crown chakra, you're not being tormented anymore. You'll have an easier time meditating. You'll have an easier time connecting to source, your higher self, your oversoul, expanding your third eye to see beyond the veil or see beyond, activate your clairsentience, all the clairs, let's put it that way, all the clairs. But we can assist you, but it is still your job. It is still your work to do. We just help because basically just about all of us, I haven't met anybody that didn't have entities. I have not. I had them before. So all of us, most of us, some people get them as early as in the womb, before they're even born. Some get them right when they're born. Some get them, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the time you're 5, you definitely have them. So the majority of us, almost all of humanity, have not experienced life free of entities. So you have this confusion, you have this interference. It is very important to clear it and heal it. As you remove it from your own body, as you remove it from your own vessel, it raises your individual vibration, which helps to raise the collective vibration. Every clear vessel, every clear body, every healed person adds to the raising of the vibration of humanity. And not even just Earth, like for the whole multiverse. We're all connected. We're all one. Anything that benefits you, that is truly a benefit, is going to benefit all those around you. It's going to benefit your family. It's going to benefit your ancestral lineage, 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. So you're not just doing this for yourself, but it is necessary to heal yourself to be a benefit to anybody else. It is very necessary. So I still don't have any questions. No questions for me? Come on. I want to answer some questions. So, but check out my YouTube channel. I'll post it again. I always post it on my Facebook page. Check out some of my other lives. Check out the first one if you didn't, because this is part 2. I'll do a part 3 real soon here. Yeah, I know I'm sideways. I don't understand that. I'll stick to my other phone next time. Sorry about that. But thank you for enjoying me sideways, everybody. I love you. You just joined. Yeah, you want to go back and listen. But very, very informative. So like I said, it is an individual journey, but it's also a collective journey. This is a group mission. You cannot do it by yourself. You can't raise the vibration of the whole planet by yourself. Like, it's a group effort, and it's going to require that we all unite. We are healing together. We are truly healing together. Healing humanity is what's going to reunite us with the multiverse. There are observers. There are our brothers and sisters in the atmosphere, in the sky. There's plenty of information to show and demonstrate that. I've had so many people talk to like highly evolved beings, multidimensional beings during aura sessions. Of course, you can communicate with them during meditation. Just be open and know that you can do it. You can do it. So these entities, will they come back? Well, the entities that I remove are transcended, so they're sent to the light. It is important for you to maintain your own vibration in your auric field. We actually go through and repair the auric field for you. In general, the answer is no. Unless if you don't maintain your own vibration and you experience more acts of like trauma, if your vibration dips extremely low and you create a new tear. Now, most of us experience traumas at an early age. Some of us do continue to experience traumas as we get older. But as you're raising your vibration, like, you will not continue to attract trauma to you. So it is an ongoing healing process in maintaining your own vibration. Generally speaking, the answer is no. They do not come back. However, if you do not focus on raising your vibration, if you do not focus on mastering your thoughts, you could possibly create a new tear. And if you create a new tear in your auric field, then yes, a new one could come. That's a possibility. But generally, no. Like because like I said, when you were young, nobody was teaching you how to maintain or heal yourself. So we created lots of tears when we were younger. Now that you're older, a lot of us are learning to maintain our thoughts and our vibrations. How you protect yourself from them. Shielding, happy thoughts, loving thoughts, radiating love. Like, the more you radiate love, like we are to be like walking rays of sunshine, walking suns, walking stars. Like, especially if you are a transmuter. Transmuters transmute any energy that comes close to them. So if you are walking and radiating love, light, energy, you're radiating positive thoughts, you have your shield up, things like that, and you're sending out love, you are helping to start transmuting energy. So if you are a good transmuter, some of the lower negative energies that come to you actually want you to transmute them, because that's the only way they can get to the light. So I want to be very clear. The only way lower vibrational energy and entities can even get to the light, like if they didn't go, like, I guess we'll just say when they went through the death process, if they didn't go to the light, if they were, a lot of the entities I transmute were killed traumatically in accidents, were shot, things like that. And if they were fearful, like some of them are fearful, like they were taught, God's not going to forgive them. They were bad, they were sinful, things like that. So they don't go to the light. So if they don't go, the only way they can get there is if an alchemy healer sends them, or a transmuter sends them to the light. And that's like actually part of the agreement. Like we are assisting them because they're still energy. We are assisting them to the light. So the way you protect yourself is you radiate love and light, and none can attach to you. Like entities don't like me. Like I've been in sessions before where they've actually called me names. I radiate way too much light. If they're not ready to go to light, they're running away. So, the only ones that come towards me, they want to be sent to the light. So that's how you protect yourself. You radiate light. You send light and love everywhere you go. You think positive thoughts. You think loving thoughts. You cannot attract negative energies when you're thinking positive thoughts unless they want to be sent to the light. So they're not trying to attach to you. They want you to heal them and send them to the light. How do you focus? Like focus your thoughts. Like the process of focusing, like even with meditation. Meditation is a very, very good practice to focus your thoughts. And actually using a pendulum is really good at focusing your thoughts, because when you use a pendulum, you can only think one thought at a time. And so that gives you good practice. You can start with thinking negative and positive things, love versus hate, yes versus no, things like that. You can start with a pendulum, think one thought at a time, and you'll see it, like it helps you to focus your thoughts. But one of the things about focusing in meditation, it is very beneficial and helpful to have entities removed from your crown chakra. If you have entities in your crown chakra, you can begin developing meditation practices. You can develop discernment to where you're not listening to the lower vibrational energies anymore. But it is advisable to get those removed. So like if you're having problems focusing, there's a good chance you have entities in your crown or your third eye if you're having problems focusing. But when you, like, meditation helps you to slow your thoughts. A lot of people think you're supposed to get to that peaceful space where you're not having thoughts. But meditation is actually a transition tool to help you to more positive thoughts. So like once you go from negative thoughts, which I'll tell you right now, the majority of us, no matter how happy you think you are, the majority of us, even I always thought I was a pretty happy person until I started paying attention to my thoughts. And I'm like, this is several years ago, but I'm like, I can definitely use some improvement in that area. Improvement is always great. It doesn't mean anything was wrong with you or you were bad or you were doing a bad job. But find ways to improve yourself. We are ever expanding and eternal. You're an eternal being. There's always improvement available. Doesn't mean anything about the past. You do the best you can based on what you know. Always room for improvement. So basically, as you move from a negative state of being or thoughts, you start moving to a peaceful state of being and thoughts until you move to a positive state of being in your thoughts, in your creation. Like thoughts manifest. As you focus on them, you begin to manifest things. The negative keep coming. Then you got to get to a space of peace and clarity until you move to that positive state. But as you change you, then what's being attracted to you will change. If you want what you're attracting in your life to change, you have to change you, which means you have to change your thoughts. You have to start looking for the beauty, looking for more loving things. I don't barely watch the news. I know that everything in humanity is being healed, so I don't have to watch it because I know the earth is going through a hard time right now. I watch it occasionally, but I don't routinely watch it because I don't want to wake up to bad news, bad vibrations, bad energy. I want to transmute. I want to add to the love and the light. So I don't watch that stuff. If there's something I need to know, someone will tell me or a source will tell me. Like sometimes my TV or the computer just comes on and I just see a snippet of something that's important for me to see, and then I cut it off. Like, is Yeshua coming back? Yeshua is not incarnating again. And no, we're not here to wait on Yeshua. We are what we've been waiting for. Yeshua is an angelic brother. So he is assisting in spirit form. But no, there are no saviors. Like even those of us, the angelics that are here, we're here to assist humanity. We're not here to save you. We're not here to just raise the vibration for you, because even if we raise the vibration, if you can't maintain it, it's going to go back to how it was. So you have to manage yourself. We can assist you, we can help you, we can help remove the interference and the entities and all these things. But you still, like with removing the entities, at least the thoughts you're having are just your own. When you have entities present, it's your thoughts, it's their negative thoughts. And then don't be picking up on other people's thoughts if you're an empath. Then it's all kinds of confusing. You don't know whose thoughts is whose. And then you're confused. You think that you're depressive. It's not even you. It's just you picking up on everybody else's thoughts. And you can help them start transmuting that and releasing it. Like heal that and get, and release it back to source. Yeah, I know the variant. I know my screen is sideways. It wouldn't let me change it. It wouldn't let me change it after I started. So sorry about that. Yes, so true. It is very draining, all the negative energy. Yeah, it can be draining. And that's why it's so important to do our own healing work and expand our aura. Ask for assistance. The angelics are there to assist you. Your higher self, your oversoul are there to assist you. Your spirit guides, ascended ancestors. Very important to make sure you're dealing with loving, light, ascended ancestors. Discernment is extremely important. If you're not developing discernment and you're just communicating with any voice that wants to talk to you, then you have no idea how to discern light and love versus darkness and chaos and confusion and self-hate and destruction. A lot of people actually end up talking to negative entities, archons, and reptilians. You don't want to do that. And a lot of them pretend to be ancestors. A lot of them pretend to be ascended masters or whatever. Like you always want to talk to love and light. Test them. Like if they're saying things to put you down or make you feel bad, they're probably not love and light and for your best interest. That's why it's so important to connect to your higher self, your oversoul. There's ways to set up gatekeepers. They have to go through your higher self. They have to go through your oversoul to communicate with you. They have to get permission and be for your highest interest. One of the things that's coming up too is canceling all contracts. Any contracts. You don't need contracts. Like contracts, like people have, agreed on contracts in past lives and things like that. There's even a session I did where Archangel Michael canceled a contract with an Arcturian teacher. Now, from what I understand, the Arcturian teacher, I asked, was it a positive or negative interaction? He said it was neither. It was neither positive nor negative. But it's not necessary to have a contract. If you want to work with that teacher again, you should have the option to work with that teacher again. If you want to work with a different teacher, it's important to receive guidance from source on who to work with, who to communicate with, who to do your healings. We were receiving messages a while back. If you have someone doing a healing, or if you want to be a healer, or if you are a healer, please make sure you're not only free of lower vibrational energy, but you're free of entities. You want to be free of entities. Entities a lot of times can pose as spies or even be doing things. Like you don't want that. Like if you're a healer, make sure you're free of entities. Make sure you're free of entities. How do an empath protect themselves from other people's negativity? Again, if you are an empath, the reason why you can feel the energy is because you are supposed to be transmuting that energy. That is what the gift is for. Most people just don't understand why they can feel the energy. So shielding is very important. As you shield, you can ask that energies that are coming within and leaving your shield is being transmuted to the highest love and light. The best way I can describe it, because I did a whole teaching on it, when you're transmuting energy, it's literally like just being aware. Put it this way, if you're an empath, you're a transmuter. Whether it's large amounts of energy or little amounts of energy. Just take deep breaths. Imagine that energy swirling within you, coating it with light, lighten it up. You can use gold light, violet light, blue light, whatever you want to do. Blessing it, loving it, and sending it back out. Sending it to source, sending it back where it came from, sending it to Mother Gaia. Just love that energy and release it. So you want to take deep breaths. A lot of times it's just the awareness. Once you're aware that you're a transmuter, it like naturally happens because you were naturally meant to do it. It's just that nobody told you what you were meant to do, or you didn't hear from source what you were supposed to be doing. And other people around you have no idea. Like angelics can transmute energy. A lot of star seeds can transmute energy. If you're an angelic, you like automatically transmute energy. Some of us have the capacity to transmute huge amounts of energy. Some people have the ability to transmute smaller amounts of energy. And if you transmute smaller amounts of energy, then your primary objective or what you're here to do is probably something different. But some of us, like healers, we are here to transmute huge amounts of energy. Oh, thank you. That's the door to live good. Oh, yeah. Sending out love and light and just healing. Like, love is like, it's an energy. It's an energy. And for some reason, like, love is the new currency. Just came to me, just popped in my head, So love, like, radiate love. Like, radiate love. Love yourself. Radiate it to, like, literally, we can send love. I've done it. I do it all the time. We can send love to other planets. So you can definitely send love to yourself, your neighbors, and your family. Like, radiate love. Radiate love through everything you do, all the systems. That's how we're going to raise the vibration of the planet. Love is all there is. It is the strongest energy because it is the purest. It is the first energy. All forms of love. Anything less than love is a distortion, and it needs to be healed. So love is all there is. Does anybody else have any questions? And you can always message me, inbox me, catch up on other sessions I posted on YouTube, catch up on other lives. I did one on transitioning, the immediate transition and what's necessary to transition to the new earth. We're doing a good job in transitioning to the new earth, but we keep being told more people need to heal, more people need to awaken, more people need to activate. If you're a volunteer, you are here to heal yourself and activate. You're here to become self-aware humans. You're on the same, you're doing the same process. You are ascending to become a highly evolved being, and then you'll ascend some more to become of an angelic nature. Like, it's all a process of descending all the way up to dimensions until you reintegrate back into source. That is the process. Do I believe in God? Do I believe in humans' understanding of God? No. Is there mother, father, source, original energy? Yes. Do the average human understand source? No. So source is mother, father, source energy. It is masculine and feminine energy. I hope that answers your question. So I don't usually refer to source as God because there's so many boxes and labels and definitions and stuff, and it's usually not right. It's not correct. It's not accurate. You want to know source? Go within. Go within. Connect to your higher self and your oversoul. Go straight to source. That's what every spiritual master that is incarnated on this earth or came directly to the earth. Because as you know, when we vibrated higher, a lot of us just came straight here. A lot of people were blue and all kind of stuff. So, but that was when we were vibrating higher. So how can we stay connected to source? Being loving, being happy. Like, that's actually the easiest way to stay connected to source. Loving, happy, positive. Like, when you're feeling bad, it's actually an indication that you're not in connection with source. And we flow in and out of connection. So that's okay. Us humans are blind. Our cup is full. Okay. Well, we're here to help humans open their eyes. And we had to open our eyes first. We had our eyes closed for a long time. But we could kind of tell someone right, but it took a while for us to open our eyes too. Atlantis. Yeah, so let me tell you a story what I was recently told about Lemuria. So, Lumeria, a lot of people know this, but I didn't understand it completely till one of my recent aura sessions. So like people would ask me, I've talked to lots of people would ask me about like life or incarnating as a mermaid. And so people would ask, do you feel like, you were a mermaid or dolphin? And I always would say, well, I felt like I was both. Like I didn't understand. Like I'm like, well, did I incarnate 2 times? One as a dolphin and one as a mermaid? I wasn't sure. So basically I did an aura session where the lady was a dolphin, and she was showing us, or she was being shown by her higher self life in Lumeria. So there was like really 3 places called Lumeria. So Lumeria was a Syrian colony, which we know different groups seeded Earth. So this was a group of dolphins. Dolphins came from Sirius. So basically the first colony for Lumeria was actually in the sea. It was a Syrian colony of dolphins, and they basically mixed or created mermaids, which was human DNA and dolphin DNA. So basically, during the expansion, one day, like a light beam came down through a pyramid under the sea, where they were receiving an upgrade to be able to walk up onto the earth, to become land dwellers, with other humans. So basically, what I was later told by my oversoul, I asked about this because I kind of laughed even with that young lady's higher self. I'm like, well, that was why I always felt human and dolphin, or mermaid and dolphin. So basically what my higher self explained is that even when the humans transition, I guess I and some others had the ability to shift from dolphin, mermaid, and human. So I would actually go up and help the humans, and then I would go back in the sea. And it's so interesting because before I found this out, there was a friend of mine who actually had a dream and said that I had swam up as a dolphin, but then when he got out the sea, I walked up, or the dolphin walked up onto the land, and he realized it was me. So yes, I was dolphin and mermaid, and that was like the first colony. Actually, I guess my first incarnation, I incarnated as a Syrian dolphin, and yeah, so it's pretty cool. You gotta learn to discern. You are so silly. Why can I hear voices all the time and see shadows of things that aren't in this realm? Well, pretty much it's like you activated third eye. Like some people close off their third eye abilities because they don't want to see other realms or other dimensions or the other energies. And it's usually from fear of standing out, sticking out, or other people not understanding them or calling them crazy. Like naturally, especially when you're vibrating at a higher dimension or higher vibration, we will activate different gifts. Some people can see other dimensions. Some people can see other beings. Like a lot of our animals that like people call extinct are really just vibrating higher at a different dimension, and you can't see them. Like, so that's why you usually don't see fairies. You don't see, what's some of the other ones? Well, a lot of the elementals really. But fairies, elves, manitors. There are, I'm thinking of the one being that there is, because they guard the portals, I know that. But a lot of things. That's just like even when I went to, I just had a trip over to Lake Erie. So at Lake Erie, I could feel lots of dragons. I even had my own dragons, and my son, my children had their dragons. But I could feel the water dragon. I can feel energy. Some people can see it better. Like when I meditate, I can see it. But I could feel that there was a big water dragon out there. But we kept seeing rings of darkness. Like this darkness kept going through the water. At one point, it was circling all the way around the boat. I didn't realize till later on when I asked my oversoul, and they're like, well, that was the dragon. So I thought like maybe we were transmuting this dark energy. And they're like, no, that was the actual water dragon helping you transmute energy. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So, yes, love our dragons. I bet you was fine in that too. What? Okay. Oh, now you're trying to be funny. Who was that friend? Mm-hmm. Let's see. I see dots, knots, worm-like stuff coming down when I stare into space outside the house. What's that? It's probably just energy. Or you might be seeing light codes too. It's a whole, like, we have so many different gifts. Sometimes, especially in my left eye, I see what looks like little, I guess you could say worms. They do kind of look like worms, but I know they're not worms. So usually they're just light codes, upgrades, different things like that. But we all experience it and see it differently. So sometimes, yeah, it looks like it's like out, in front of you, and sometimes look like it's right in your eyes. But yes, people see it like, and that's another thing. It's so important to connect to your higher self and oversoul because everyone's gifts are so different. We do share some things in common, but just because like someone else might have a different gift. A lot of times people want to, I want to do what that person can do. I want to do what that person can do. But connect to source and find out what your unique gift is. They could be spirits, yeah. Sometimes I see little dark shadows and stuff. I know I need to transmute something if I see something darting across the corner or something. So, yeah, look like floaters. Yeah. Yep. Usually they're light codes. I also get light codes on my ceiling. So you can receive light codes all different kind of ways. Some people can actually see the grids. Like there's energy grids and ley lines and stuff like that. Some people can see those. Any other questions? Yep. Yeah, and the thing is, like, it really depends on where you're vibrating at, what type of energies or entities will communicate with you. Like, I basically set my, like I mentioned gatekeeper earlier, I set it to where it's only love and light. So anything that's of a lower vibration really is not going to be able to communicate with me. Yep. Yeah, so keep developing that skill if you can see the grid codes, because you're meant to heal them if you can see them. Continue to radiate love and light. The more you heal yourself, the more your potential expands. Like that's why it's so important to heal yourself so you can activate at a higher potential. So you can function at a higher potential. Fear is definitely a mind killer. It's an ascension killer. It's an activation killer. Like it's a connection killer. It'll kill your connection to source automatically. Like, I mean, if you're maintaining that vibration. Of course, if you get scared or actually, as you raise your vibration, you really don't get scared at all anymore. And plus, you understand, like when you radiate high, like. That's why I love, like I used to listen, I still listen to Abraham Hicks, but I used to love listening to Abraham Hicks all the time while I was working on my vibration. And she'll tell you in a moment, you have nothing to fear at all. Because if you're vibrating low or if you're in fear and anxiety, like basically, put it this way. If you're vibrating high and someone that doesn't like you give a murderer or a killer or a rapist, whatever, your address, like, go hurt this person. You're vibrating high and they're vibrating low. You're vibrating high. That person, even with your address in their hand, cannot find you, will get lost, will get redirected, will literally walk past your house because they are not vibrating on the same vibration as you. I know that might sound absurd or you don't want to believe it, but life and law of attraction and how we operate and how this matrix work is about vibration. So if you raise your vibration, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. If you're trusting source, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. Energy bouncing around. Let's see, I feel like I still have fear. Yep. And you can work on that. That's okay. It's a process. Ascending is a process. Clearing yourself is a process. There's nothing wrong with that. We've all had it. And the majority of us will continue to have it. Like, that's why we're here, to help people know you don't have to live that way. You don't have to live in that fear. You don't have to live in that guilt, that shame, that blame, none of that. You can heal that and let it go. As we heal those lower vibrational energies and let them go and heal them, we raise the vibration to where we can ascend to the new earth, a newer way of interacting, of living, to where we don't have to experience those things anymore. Like we did a wonderful aura session where Archangel Michael gave us a wonderful teaching on healing, like unforgiveness, and even like we specifically were talking about pedophilia. Like a lot of people don't really understand, even though we don't like it, we don't want it in our experience, and we definitely don't want it in the experience for our children, the ones being born or the ones that are here now. So how do we heal it to release it from the collective experience? There's a way to heal that, and we have the ability to heal that and raise the vibration to where it is never a part of the human experience again. So raising your vibration is very important. Yeah, don't be scared. Like seriously, don't be scared. Trust your source. Your higher self, your oversoul has your highest, best interests at heart. They love you. Like when we connect to them, that's all they say, like all the time. Like, we love you, love yourself, trust yourself, heal yourself, connect with us, because that's the agreement we made. Like, go back and listen from the beginning. We made an agreement. We incarnated through the veil of amnesia. We knew we weren't going to remember who we were, but our higher self and oversoul, they remember all that. Our spirit guides, they remember all that. We are a team. So we are here to practice connecting with them so that we are reminded of our purpose, so that our skills are unlocked, so the knowledge that's within our DNA is unlocked so that the world can benefit from it. But you have to heal yourself and activate first. Is the dark light, if I focus hard enough, I see people's faces. How do you master fear? Like really just, I'd say the best way to master fear is to understand that fear is false. Fear is a false illusion appearing real. It's really false. There really is no such thing as fear other than programming. Really, the only energy is love. There's different aspects of love, and then there's the absence of love. Just like there's light, and then there's the absence of light. So really mastering fear is moving more into a loving vibration. And then understanding, becoming self-aware, understanding that you are an eternal being and that you are energy. Energy always is, and energy is ever expanding and changing. So once you start becoming more self-aware, you move out of fear. Oh, yes. If you made a wish to stop dreaming, you can always undo that. Let me read the rest of this. But we do that often, like actually a lot of people, and especially as children. You don't want to see anymore. You started seeing things early. Nobody around you understood why. Your parents, thought this, that, whatever. Dreams are, scary sometimes. Sometimes, depending on how old you are, dreams are a chance to master different gifts you have. I know I had a lot of scary dreams when I was younger, but it was actually an opportunity to master different skills such as manipulating my dreams, like just basically manifesting swords or wings or flying or whatever it was to kill the bad guy, blah, 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 stuff like that. And sometimes I know when I was going through my purging process years ago to release dense energy, I actually had a lot of nightmares. But it was actually a releasing process. So it just kind of depends on why you were having bad dreams. But you can ask, basically meditate, set your intentions even before you go to sleep. Say, I'm no longer afraid. I would like to start having dreams again. I would like to connect with source again, different things like that. To start clearing that. Of course, like the Angelic Universal Regression Alchemy sessions are like so life-changing. Anything you want to address with source, you can address directly. Of course, you can always meditate on it as well. But I just love the interaction and the direct confirmation that Source gives you during a session to tell you exactly what you need to do or tell you, okay, I've already cleared that, things like that. Yes, fear is a choice. Okay. Oh, love you, love you, love you. Anybody has any questions, of course, like if they're too personal, you can always message me. Yeah, I would imagine, sometimes it is hard for children. Like I said, especially if no one else around you knows what's going on. Like even as far as, even healing and stuff. Like a lot of people's illnesses are from entities, but you go to the doctor, nobody knows what you're talking about. Like I had, when I was younger, I had entities in my arms. I think it was like maybe 2 or something like that. But I would feel these sharp pains in my arms. And I remember going to the doctor, and I said to the doctor, I have these sharp shooting pains up and down my arms. They basically just ignored me because there's no diagnosis for that. What, other than what, a heart attack? Like, there's no diagnosis for that. So they pretty much just ignored me. So it wasn't until I had my own Angelic Universal Regression Alchemy session where those were removed. I had some removed from my crown. I had already started raising my vibration. I pretty much wasn't any longer having the symptoms of the entities anymore. But who really wants entities in your body? Like, they're just waiting for your vibration to drop so they can cause chaos and havoc. They're like, please have a bad day. Please have a bad day so we can have some fun. But I had already started raising my vibration. So yeah, I didn't have the symptoms of what they were causing anymore. Like I was diagnosed with atypical narcolepsy and told I'd be on meds for the rest of my life. That didn't last long. I'm like, no, we're going to do something. We're going to start healing. I started taking herbs. I got out of my, abusive relationship. I actually went through a dark night of the soul, which is not fun. But I started meditating, learned Reiki. Like, I started doing things. I got crystals, all kind of stuff. And then when I had my Angelic Universal Regression Alchemy session, I got all those entities removed. They weren't really were they causing me a problem? No. But were they waiting if they ever got the chance? Yes. So just get them gone, get them removed. And then even the other thing, like having an entity removed one at a time can be kind of painful. My advice is just to have a session, get them all removed at once. Like I actually had to remove one before my session by myself. It was not fun. It wasn't fun at all. I thought I was going to pass out. I felt sick. I didn't even know what was wrong. I just kind of like started getting guidance, like go run a salt bath, go do this, go do that. Like, and I don't know how many angels were in my bathroom, in the bathtub, but it was not fun. So have a session where you get assistance in your higher self and I and any angels we need to call on, where we remove it for you. And you maintain your own vibration moving forward. It's a lot easier to maintain your vibration once you get all the negative, lower vibrational energy entities removed because they entered at such a young age. You don't even know what it's like to be free of interference. You have no idea because they've been with you since you were children. And one of the good things about even the aura sessions, you can ask your higher self to scan your children. You can do that. They'll scan your children for you. Like I've removed them from my children. I've even removed them from my twin. So you can have or request that entities be removed from other people. And it's up to the higher self or oversoul if they can do it, because it does require more energy when they're not actually channeling through that person. So sometimes they can do it, or sometimes they might advise you to have them have a session, or they might give you some other way that you can assist them. But you can inquire about other people during the sessions. Dreams are stargates. Yeah, you can go other places, of course, during your dream time. So, let me see. Yep. In this sort of void, I feel like it's some sort of a major shedding of ego. I'm a completely different person right now. I feel as though I've slipped out of 3D also. Also been awake a year or so. I'm trying to understand as best I can. Yes, you're doing a great job. Just keep going. Keep connecting to your higher self and oversoul. Again, if you want to have a session, like I definitely encourage it, you're welcome to message me. See what else you need to do or what source might advise for you. And also, like, I think it's so beneficial to get a verbal confirmation that you're free of entities. Get a verbal confirmation. I think just about everybody I've done has had entities. At least one. Just about everybody. And even those that have done a really, really good job healing. Your higher self will give you an upgrade. I've done crystalline upgrades. I think there was one where they used vibration. I used a singing bowl to assist the higher self in their upgrade. Or the oversoul, one or the other. How do you know if you have entities? If you've ever experienced trauma, you probably have entities. That's the number one answer. If you've experienced trauma, you created a tear, one of them seen it, one of them seen your light looking out. Like they're flying by, they're looking for tears in people's auras, in their auric field. So if you've ever experienced any type of trauma, you have them. That's like, you have them. Our children have them, like I said, you have them. Some of the ways you know you have them is by, like, if you're sick, if you've had different diseases or confusion, states of confusion, you're out of balance, just things like that. But if you've had any diagnosis or they put you on medicine, and they also put entities in medications and immunizations. So, they can pretend they don't, most of them, like the nurses and doctors, they don't know that. But the people that made it, they know, like somebody's putting them in there. They're not just getting in there on accident. And also entities can enter, like if you are in altered states, like if you're in a negative environment, negative state, and you are drunk or intoxicated, altered states, entities can enter then too. So actually the archangels have advised not to alter your state of consciousness. It's between you and your guidance, what that means to you. Some of them actually don't advise smoking marijuana because it alters your state. They do advise CBD oil if you want to use CBD oil, but they don't advise altering your state of consciousness because entities can enter then. Any tips for this period? I have no words to explain what I'm feeling. Ground, be in a state of allowing. Sorry, I have like a little holder. More and more and more is going to come. You're going to be doing finer levels of healing. Like I said, a lot of the integrating your masculine, feminine, healing trauma, healing if anybody's experienced dark rituals, this life or past life, interference, the control systems, a lot of the control systems like interference, mind control programming, a lot of that's being cleared. A lot of people are having dreams, which I know I have, like of zombies and things like that. Usually dreams of zombies in your dream are more about mind control, basically. So like the best way to release the mind control is going to be to gain control of your own mind, to connect with your higher self and your oversoul. Take charge of your own mind and your beliefs. Take a look at your belief systems. Is this beneficial to me? Is this true? Is there any truth to it? Like, question it. Pretty much, like during my awakening process, if I was taught by a human, I let it go. I mean, that's just the easiest way to say it. If you're taught by a human, let it go. Or ask source. I also do a process called mind clearing Reiki. But I tend to allow the higher self and oversouls, the archangels, to go through that. I don't go through anybody's mind. I kind of just facilitate and ask them to come in. You look through all their belief systems, whatever's out of place or incomplete, inaccurate, stuff like that, clear that. Same thing with cords. I don't cut cords directly. I always facilitate, allow your higher self to cut them, heal them, release them, burn them, whatever needs to be done. Some people have not learned what they need to learn, so they're not ready to cut a cord. Another thing, like if you have a twin flame, even if you're mad at them, like you can never ever cut that cord. It's your same soul. You can never ever cut it. The best thing to do is to start healing it and heal yourself. Let me see anything else. When you have an out-of-body experience, can entities enter you? I'm going to go with no. No, because if you have an outer body experience, like it should be guided by your higher self, and your higher self and your oversoul should know where they're taking you. So I'm going to say no to that. Like altered states of consciousness, but not out-of-body experiences. And technically, every time you dream, every time you go to sleep, you leave your body. So I'm going to say no to that one. Whether you remember the dream or not, like we all return to source. That's why sleep is so important and so refreshing. Now, some of us are actually like really, really tired when we wake up, Usually that means, you've traveled to another dimension, or you've been healing or teaching or doing something. I teach a lot in dreams. I heal a lot in dreams, things like that. So some days I can tell, like, I've definitely been doing way more than other days. So just be easy with yourself, like with the healing that's going on and with the ascension and the transition. A lot of us, you're doing way more than you think you are, or than you realize. As you heal, as you raise your vibration, your memories, your self-awareness, who you truly are, will be restored to you. So, like, basically incarnating here, you could not come here with all of the knowledge of who you were. Like, knowledge is light energy. So they're basically like holding on to it for you. And as you expand and heal and stuff, that's what the downloads are. Some of the downloads are your memories. Some of the downloads are activations, healing, like all kind of stuff. So, like, we have it coming into the earth. And those of us that are transmuters, we ground that energy to the earth. We send energy up from the earth, back up to the cosmos. We ground the energy that comes into the earth too. And then we also, like, filter out energy to Mother Gaia and other humans. So we do a lot more. Is it necessary to know exactly what's going on? Not really. Just expand, heal yourself so that you are more effective and efficient, and you're operating at your highest potential. So, any more questions? All right, you'll definitely want to tune in to the third part. If you have not watched the first part or all of the first part, please go back and watch it. Again, we're getting some perspectives on the ascension process, the disclosure, and even the observers. So number one was about a specific observer that is orbiting Earth atmosphere right now, and their perspective and opinion. This session today was like really about processing emotions, opening the heart chakra, understanding your heart discernment and why it's important for men to heal and take themselves out of the man box. If you cannot feel and you're not attached to your emotions, understand that it is matrix programming to disconnect you from source, to disconnect you from Mother Gaia. So, I appreciate you too. I love you all. Send me messages. Like, you can send me messages and questions. I can always address it on the next live. So I love you. And by the way, today is a special day for multiple reasons. Today's my twin's birthday, but it's also a portal. As most people know by now, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. All these are special portal days. And then there's also other special days in between. And we just had a new moon. So I did have one person get a session earlier who's getting some free crystals. So the next 2 people to order sessions, I have a bottle of Ganoderma. This is the herb that got me off my medications. It's an adaptogen alkaline herb. So I would love to give that to someone for free. Then I also have some more crystals that I'll be giving away. So next 2 people, you either get a bottle of free herbs or free crystals. All right, and I Reiki them. I Reiki everything. I Reiki herbs, I Reiki crystals. So I love you. Message me if you have any questions. I will address it on the next live too. All right. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. This is a beautiful time to be alive. Beautiful time to be alive. Like, go back. Like I said, there's another live about transitioning into the new earth. Beautiful time to be alive. Oh, someone sent me a friend request. Okay. I'll check it out, and I'll definitely respond to that and friend you. All right, love you. Namaste. I'll talk to you later.